In this video, I will be talking about the add ability items, what they are, how useful these things are, how to use them, etc, etc. Depending on what you want to see, you can look in the description for the time skip. Note that when it comes to these add ability items, you will need to get them through a good chunk of ways, and when it comes to these add abilities, they vary in terms of their usage. I would say you will want to try to get certain ones here and there just because they can give you 100% transferable rate. Now, I can demonstrate this on a fixed simulator, but the reason why I have a fixed simulator is so I can point at all the available add abilities that are in-game. The second list down here, once you make a certain formula, this shows all of the add abilities you can use. Now, there's 3 particular ones that you don't see on this list, which they should update in due time, showing you guys that. Yeah, they didn't add it just yet over here. But the 3 items I'm going to bring up are pretty much the mid-game formulas. I'm going to be pointing or saying look at the upper right hand corner or in the description every now and then, because this will kind of go into the various videos I already made talking about how to make these certain abilities. Now, some of these abilities you can't really make normally, like there's no certain formula in-game with some of the in-game affixes, augments that can give you this particular ability. For example, Grand Shoot, you can't make Grand Shoot by doing various things. Like the only way to get Grand Shoot is to have this certain pop item, which then you can use on a weapon and or unit. Same can be said with several other grades, like the normal boost items, the elegant, the grace, the noble grades as well. You can't normally make these. You have to get the pop item, which you can get from doing a bunch of AC scratches, and a couple of these can be, well, AC support item scratch or in the AC scratch. Some of these particular pop items I have are like the mark abilities in the grade 6. I got them from the Star Gem support item. These mark abilities are good because 1, you can put them on a unit piece, and then secondly, there is a receptor which can allow you to transfer this here and there, but the pop item allows you to slap it on to something permanently. Another thing I have to note, some of these abilities cannot be used normally, or you cannot easily transfer them once you slap it on. For example, let's get back to the Grand Shoot. This thing can give you plus 60 R attack, plus 20 HP, plus 5 PP. Alright, so that's good. Once I slap it on, guess what? It's stuck on that particular weapon and or unit. There's no way to transfer it. Now, they might make an easier way later on. They might add a new ability later over here in the Japanese PSO2, which allows you to transfer it. But for now, this is the only way to do it. You slap it on to your weapon and or unit, and that's it. With the mark abilities, that's a different story though, because guess what? They are mark abilities, and you can technically transfer them if you somehow get a mark receptor somewhere in your formula. You can buy it, you can have a pop item, which then you can slap onto a certain unit in a weapon piece, which then allows you to try to get it to transfer. But the gist is you need that receptor to get this mark ability to move over to whatever new piece you have. If you're not familiar with the receptor abilities though, I have a video talking about it upper right hand corner or in the description. So yeah, that's pretty much a good chunk of the pop items, but there are particular pop items that give you other things as well. Let me take away the ad and show you guys some special ones that are technically some affixes and augments you can make in-game. Now, the grade 6, you cannot make them normally. You can get them through an SAF though. The one I'm looking for, I have no clue where you are, so I'm gonna have to type your name. Let's say it's Kata. Not that one. Did I put you in a different storage? I guess I did. I don't know where I put you though. Where the bloody fuck did I put you? Is this it? Nope. Nope. It should be somewhere around here. Factor. Okay, so it's called... Wait. Add. Where are you? Why is it not in this list when I type that? Oh wait, it's down here. So, guess what? To understand these particular items, look in the upper right hand corner or in the description. There's a video, an old video that I made talking about how to get Ether, Factor, Astro Soul, Mana, Rev. There are pop items for those things. And with this particular pop item, they can do something. So before I show you guys how to actually start it up, and if you want to get right to that point, look in the description for that, I do need to showcase a particular thing. This is a spoiler. Although I would say you would want to see said spoiler, but once again, depending on how you're playing the game and if you are trying to be spoiler free, you might want to look in the description for the time skip on how to use these pop items. But if you are watching this and you're playing on global, let me point something out. You guys do have that mission badge currency, right? I don't know if you have a shop that you can spend stuff on, but if you really want to go for a certain affix or a certain endgame ability called Guardian Soul, you will want to stockpile on those goddamn badges, because when you get this shop, they're gonna have 3 of the mid-game formulas that you can get, and this will give you 100% guaranteed on these mid-game formulas as long as you don't upslot. This is Astro Soul Effective Mana Rev. This is 100% guaranteed for it. Astro Soul Effective Mana Rev. So, I already made formulas talking about how you can get Guardian Soul. And if you decide to add this add ability item, you can easily cut corners. Note that if you do have a ton of mission badges, you can go for the expensive formula that a good chunk of people have spent a good chunk of Meseta on. Like, for example, me, I made a Guardian Soul that is like 300 mil, roughly around. I made another Guardian Soul with like a 4-slot affix at 180 mil. With these pop items by themselves and you spending 120 badges, well, do 120 times 3 because you do need all 3 of these somewhere in your formula to try to get a Guardian Soul. The last one you need to make is Absolute Glare. But guess what? If I've been doing these mission badges over there in global and I've been stockpiling on those badges, technically I can just, you know, use most of the Mesetas on like one of the other abilities that you will want to try to get, just so you can emphasize on a bunch of all stat stuff. So yeah, like if you're playing on global, you have an advantage. That's pretty much it. If you need any sort of clarity with this certain point, let me know in the description. Say, hey Mark, I looked at your certain point talking about these add abilities, like, and I'm still confused on what you're trying to say. Let me know so I can give you the full rundown on why you would want to abuse that. Or abuse that fact that, hey, look, you get to get these pop items. Now, I don't know when, but it will be a thing. Alright, so let me show you guys how to use this. When it comes to using them, you will want to go through your normal affix option. So when you do add abilities, you want to go to your weapons and units, depends on what you are fixing. Let's say I want to affix this 5-slot. I select my pieces, want to hit yes. When I hit confirm, you'll notice that it decides to pop this little thing, which will allow me to select one of the add abilities that I have in my inventory to use in this process. Now, I can't say don't use anything and proceed forward like so, but if I do want to use a certain item, guess what? I can select one of these 3 items that I have, and then it will slap it on. So as you can see, this thing is at 100%. Now, if I decide to upslot, that will skew it heavily. So what will happen when I actually slap this on? So for starters, this is a catalyst. You can technically work with a catalyst. I already made a video talking about it up right hand corner or in the description. But once you use this pop item, it's not going to be at that 100% anymore. It's going to be at whatever percent that you can work with, depending on the certain rules and factors of that particular ability. So technically you can make a factor catalyst in game, but the normal way to do it is going to be a pain in the butt, and it's at usually a 10%. But with a pop item, it just made it into 100%, and I can slap it onto a certain piece or certain affix. So this kind of leads up to my manipulation or affixing advanced classes of 201 plus, because this will allow you to do certain things that you wouldn't normally want to do, or this helps you cut and save money because of these pop items. This is why I was emphasizing on getting them during that limited recycle shop event over in the Japanese PSO2. Most likely global will get it in due time as well. You would want to take advantage of it as well. So guess what? If you think that's done and over with, no. The one thing I emphasize on that special ability transfer is the fact that you can use these ability transfer, you can use those pop items to help you increase even further from its original number. If you haven't seen that video, I advise you to watch it. But pretty much if I wanted to try to keep all these same abilities on this 5 slot and move it on to like the 6 slot, all I need to do is make sure that the weapon that I have in mind is at an X number. So if I wanted to keep all 5 of these abilities, guess what? I can with the ability transfer process, but then I can also add a +1 because I don't know why, but this function allows you to use a pop item. So guess what? I can make that 5 slot into a 6 slot, have all those certain abilities, but also put a pop item on it. Once again, I do explain it in that certain video. Watch that instead to get an understanding of that point, this point that I mentioned. That is it. So yeah, there are a lot of ways to get these pop items, but ultimately this falls on you and how you want to get them. Like if you want to spend Affixes to try to get them, good idea. If you just want to spend an X amount of meseta to get these particular items, you can. Some of these items might already be in use and they would have slapped it onto a weapon or a unit. Do what you have to do some research, figure out how you can use these to your advantage. Like if you don't plan to use them, you might well drop them and not use them at all. For example, I did get like some of these sensibilities from the recycle shop, but thinking about it, I shouldn't have got them because I'm not going to use them as much since I go for higher fixes. Like these things here, I got them from the limited AC recycle shop. I barely use these damn things, like these sentence abilities. Where the fuck are you? Like the S and the... No, that's grand. This is a sentence. I know I got some sentence. Where the hell are you? I thought I did, or I might have skipped over it. I think I skipped over it. Unless it's in my actual inventory right now. Nope, it's not in my inventory. So yeah, pretty much there's some things you gotta consider, like just look at the list. Pretty much look at that list and figure out what you may want to get. Overall, the grand abilities are the ones you would want to get unless you get your hands on the elegant ones. You can use them. Or the grace ones, excuse me, not elegant. Elegant is like the grade 2. You would definitely want these pop items for the catalysts though, and the mega and ether, because if you're trying to do a very specific effects and you don't want to gamble with these catalysts, because once again, they are stuck at a 10% if you make it the normal way. But with this pop item, it's 100%. So what's better, a 10%? Or 100%, especially when it comes to some other abilities that you're trying to gamble with. Like, do you really want to gamble with all those pieces, or do you want to make sure that everything is able to affix easily without having to spend as much? So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.